Hello again. I'm here with Jennifer Treloggen, who is a senior here in the Minor School of Business, and she's an economics and finance major. And we've just been chatting a little bit about her remarkable career in many different countries around the world. So she's here to ask me a couple questions, so fire away.
All right. Well, thank you for meeting with me this morning. I do have a couple questions for you. One is, I'm curious, what was a unique experience or maybe something that you learned during your undergraduate career that's really stayed with you and affected your life?
Well, when I was just about your age and situation, so I majored in economics as an undergraduate, and I just loved economics. And so I went to one of my professors and said, okay, well, what do I do with this? What are my pathways here? And he said, well, sometimes econ majors go into the financial world, maybe to banking. And he kind of told me about that. And then he said the other thing you could do is consider going to graduate school if you're interested in learning more, like at the master's level, or PhD level, maybe teaching. And so I thought about that for a while, and I decided to go to graduate school and get my PhD, which is one reason why I'm sitting here with you today. So that helped me a lot to kind of discern on a pathway for me. Did you go straight in, or did you work a little bit first? No, I went straight from my undergraduate into the graduate school.
Do you think that was a good choice, or do you think it might have been more helpful if you had taken some time off before you went in?
Well, for me personally, I think it was a good choice. I think I was just ready to go, and some people, I see personally as dean, a lot of people, especially in our MBA programs, if they'll work a while first and then come back and get their MBA, I think they're better prepared.
You think they are?
I do think so. And I think they have more questions about what's really like in the real world when they're working in business and how the MBA relates to what they're doing in the real world. In my case, economics, as you know, is a little bit more theoretical.
That's right, yeah.
And so I went straight on through to get through that PhD material, core material, write my dissertation. And then as it happened, I went out into the business world anyway and started an oil and gas company years ago and started using what I'd learned in academia out in the real world. And I think it helped me a lot.
Well, that's interesting. I'm glad to hear that, because I've been debating whether to go straight in and do an MBA or something, or take some time off. So it's kind of good to hear that. Another question I had for you was, what has been, I guess, a great piece of advice that you have received, or what is a good piece of advice that you could give someone else, do you think?
Okay, I think a really good piece of advice I heard was from Warren Buffett, from Berkshire Hathaway. And I was very fortunate to be invited to attend the last annual meeting of the Giving Pledge donors, the people that have at least $1 billion worth of assets, and they've pledged to give away half of it during their lifetime.
That's amazing.
And so Warren Buffett was interviewed at this meeting, and one of the things he told the audience was about heroes, about choosing your heroes. Who do you admire? Who are your mentors? Who do you look up to? And he said, choose your heroes carefully and think about who it is that you aspire to be like, who is your mentor, because some of them can be tremendously valuable to you, and you can put them up on this pedestal and think, that's what I want to be like. I want to emulate that. But on the other hand, they can be disappointing too.
That's true.
So if you choose a mentor or a hero that at some point does something improper, inappropriate, that can be deflating to an individual. And so
that's true.
His advice was, choose your heroes carefully.
Yeah. Do you have a hero that you look up to?
Well, I've had a lot of mentors in my life. I mean, I'm old enough, I'm well over 2 or 3 times your age. So all along my pathway, I've had mentors, both in academia and in the workspace. Yeah. And I watch and I learn, and most of them have been wonderful resources for me, and I learned from their good behavior. I haven't seen many that exhibited bad behavior. Right,
well, that's good. You're picking them wisely, I guess.
So it's it's a varied bag. Some of them in the business world have been wonderful to me. Here as dean, I think one of the most wonderful people I've dealt with has been Herman Minders,
Oh yeah.
who this building is
Yeah.
named after. Herman he's kind of like a father to me. He
Oh, really?
and I are very close. He's a wonderful gentleman. He's completely dedicated to this business school
I
and
can
to this
tell, yeah.
university. He loves students. He loves to help students. And it's just a thrill for me to be able to serve as dean with Herman, and having his name on this building.
Well, I've always really enjoyed meeting him and talking to him. He always seems so kind. But I think you do a great job too. So
Well, thank you.
We're
I
happy to
appreciate
have
that.
both of you guys.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with me today
No,
and
I
answering
enjoyed
the
it.
questions. I feel like I learned something.
Well, so did I.
Okay.
Thank you.